Hi there, today I'd like to take a look at this product. This is actually a really nice case. You get a whole bunch of stuff with it. So here it is on my iPhone 10, and you do get a glass piece, the screen cover. There, now you can see it. So it's going to fit just like that. There's a little bit of a border all the way around, but it's just really nice and simple. And then all of the openings, like for the camera and over here, that's all really good. All the openings for your buttons, your mute button over here, and over here, these are all nice and big and open and stuff like that. This is the little holes that will fit in with this. So here is this part. And this is very strong, and it's permanently bolted onto this piece. And then with this piece, slide it in this way, and then you have this clip that you snap in, and that snaps into those holes I showed you earlier over here. So it snaps in, and it's very secure. And then when it's like this, then your screen is completely protected. Or it does have the holes on this side as well, so if you wanted to, you can also clip like this so you can still see your phone and everything. This also does turn, so however way you want it oriented. So this is actually really nice, and this is made out of a hard plastic, and it does have this little thingy over here so you can have nice good grip. I do love the grip on this. This does add a lot of but by this I mean the entire case system. You release it here to pop this out, so whenever you want to do it, here has the two edges that catch it, so slide that in first, and then you can just snap this down, and then it locks into these little holes over here. So these little thingies pop into those little holes. There's one on each side. So on the back over here, and the red one is really pretty as well, then you have all of these, and it's like a rubbery hard plastic. And then you also have this little stand, and you pull this out over here, and then you can stand it like that, and it does stand it at a very nice angle. It's very secure. And to tuck it back in, you just want to push this back up again, push this, and then you do want to push it until it snaps. There, and then it's nice and flush. These little thingies do jut out a little bit, and so when it sits, you actually have quite a bit of depth and protection on all ends. So this is the thickness of it. It does make it so with the iPhone 10, you do have this where you have to you swipe up this way, right? And I did have to teach my finger to go down because this ledge sticks up quite a bit, which is excellent for screen protection and for, you know, overall protection, but it does make it so that it's just a little bit, you know, if you're, it's just a little bit something that you got to get used to, that you got to like actually dip your finger down to be able to reach in there and swipe it up. After using this for several weeks, then I'm totally used to it now, and now it's not a big deal. But at the very beginning, I did remember that it was something that I was like, you know. So the other thing that is a little bit weird is because this is actually the second one of these cases that I've tested out. And the first one, the buttons actually jutted out a bit. This one, the buttons are completely flush. So that makes it a little, I hate it. Well, hate is a little strong, but I really don't like it because it basically means that if I try to push this way, then it's a little hard to push because it is flush, so I gotta push in. I do prefer for the buttons to stick out a little bit. Another reason why is because it's quite hard to tell in the dark you know, which way is up and down on this phone now. I mean, you know, I lost my home button, which I used to orient myself and all that. And then I was using the buttons, feeling the buttons on the side to feel, okay, this is up. And now this is all flush. And so it's just a lot harder. Although I can feel for this, these are the open holes. And so when I feel that, then I know that that's the bottom because the top doesn't. So that's the thing. And also, the other thing is if you do a screenshot or if you want to use the volume buttons as your physical camera button, it does make it hard with one hand. If you know, I want to make sure I don't drop my phone. I don't want to be really struggling to push this button down, but I do have to push with quite a bit of force and able to in order to get my finger to get in there and depress the buttons. So I don't like that these buttons are designed like this. And let me go ahead and take this out of the case. Oh my gosh, this is always the part that freaks me out because I'm always afraid I'm going to just totally flip my phone out and like damage it or something. But oops. So on the phone itself, the buttons do stick out a little bit, but on this, then it becomes totally flush. And so here, this is what it looks like from the inside. And here you can see, I hope you can see, it's just really flush. There is no extra thingies on the inside that help push the buttons. It's basically just a cutout, and they've cut it out on the top and bottom to where it can depress down. But can you see the top and bottom? There's two little slits, but that's it. Okay, so what I'm talking about is I'm going to compare it against this one. This is their other model, and I do not like this one at all. But I love the way that this one's buttons are, because this one actually has buttons that stick out on either side. So I'm going to go ahead and show you. Well, I'll show you. This is the inside, and so there's a lot less protection as well. Let me see. It's a lot thinner. So you can see it's a lot thinner. And it's a lot more flexible. It's rubber with then this plastic, this thin plastic, hard plastic border around, and then this is the rubbery piece. This is the backing is kind of a rubbery thing as well because it is flexible, versus this is a lot harder. This doesn't crush down. This one I can crush in. The thing that's holding it more stiff is the plastic border. This whole thing is just a harder material, but it's more rubbery and stuff, so it just holds its shape better. But you can see this one is a lot more protection. It's a lot thicker. When I have it sitting down over here, you probably can't see it, but this is very close to, this is actually sitting right on to the desk, and this one actually has a bit of space. It's sitting up above. I don't know how to show you. Oh, I'll go like this. So you see the difference over here. This one just gives you a lot more protection. But what I do like about this is the buttons, because this one has really nice, easy buttons. And both of these, you just slide it on like that. But this one has really nice buttons that actually stick out a little bit. There you go. So it's very easy to push it. Although I will say that it was, sometimes it's a little too easy, and I do find myself accidentally doing a lot of screenshots when I'm just holding my phone and accidentally my hand squeezes or whatever, and then I'm taking screenshots left and right. But this is what this one looks like. And because of, I don't know, I don't like the way this one looks. as much. This red is a very bright red. Brighter than this red. I don't know, it's just a really, really bright red. I kind of like a deep maroon red. That would be my personal preference, but let's see. Not sure how else to really compare this for you. But basically, this case here is a lot slimmer. Not as much protection, but it is slimmer if you do want a slimmer option. And it has the nice buttons that I like. Well, there you go. I just accidentally did a screenshot again. And then this one is much more protective. And I like the material better. It's one cohesive unit, plus it has a little stand, and then it also has this. So between the two, I absolutely love this one better. I just wish that this one had this one's buttons, and that would be the perfect one for me. So there you go. If there are any questions, go ahead and leave them for me in the comments below. Otherwise, thanks for watching.